Welcome to Earth with Nature, where we delve into the profound enigmas of our own world with a sense of calm curiosity. Today, let's immerse ourselves in a captivating what-if scenario that challenges everything we think we know about human history. What if the first civilization never truly vanished, but instead adapted and thrived in the hidden depths of our oceans? Imagine for a moment the vast, uncharted expanses beneath the waves, not as empty voids, but as cradles of ancient ingenuity, where the echoes of our earliest ancestors might still resonate. This isn't mere fantasy. It's a thought experiment grounded in marine science facts and ocean mysteries that invite us to question the fragility of surface life and the resilience hidden below. As we begin this slow journey, picture the ocean as a living archive, a colossal library of Earth's secrets, where pressure forges diamonds from coal and darkness nurtures bioluminescent wonders. Oceanography teaches us that over 80% of our planet's seafloor remains unexplored, a fact from institutions like NOAA that underscores how little we truly know about these underwater realms. What if, in those shadowy abyssal plains, remnants of a primordial society persist, having evolved technologies to harness hydrothermal vents, those natural underwater geysers spewing mineral-rich waters at temperatures exceeding 700 degrees Fahrenheit? These vents, discovered in the late 1970s by submersibles like Alvin, support entire ecosystems independent of sunlight, with tube worms and extremophile bacteria thriving in conditions that would incinerate surface life. Metaphorically, they're like Earth's hidden forges, tempering life in the fires of the deep, much as an ancient civilization might have forged tools from volcanic glass. Reflect on this. If humans first emerged along coastal regions, as evidenced by archaeological sites like those in South Africa's Blombos Cave dating back 100,000 years with early shell beads and ochre art, couldn't rising seas from the last ice age's end, around 12,000 years ago, have submerged thriving communities? Marine archaeology has uncovered submerged ruins, such as the Yonaguni Monument off Japan, with its terraced stone formations that some hypothesize as man-made, though debates rage in scientific circles. These ocean mysteries build emotional investment by reminding us of our shared human story. Facts like the discovery of the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek analog computer from a shipwreck, show how advanced underwater preservation can reveal lost knowledge. As we ponder broader implications, consider how such a hidden civilization might have developed bio-inspired technologies, mimicking the sonar of dolphins, creatures whose echolocation can detect objects miles away, a marine science fact that has inspired modern naval sonar systems. What questions does this raise for you? Have you ever gazed at the sea and wondered what forgotten chapters of humanity it conceals? Encouraging personal research, I urge you to explore resources from the Smithsonian Ocean Portal or dive into books like The Wave by Susan Casey, which details real underwater explorations. This narrative isn't about rushing to conclusions. It's about savoring the immersion, letting the weight of these ideas settle like sediment on the seafloor. Transitioning deeper, if this first civilization adapted to aquatic life, perhaps through genetic resilience or engineered habitats, it mirrors evolutionary biology's tales of adaptation. Think of how lungfish can survive drought by burrowing into mud, estivating for years. In the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on Earth at over 36,000 feet, pressures crush submarines, yet snailfish thrive there, their bodies adapted with gelatinous structures to withstand forces 1,000 times greater than at sea level. These underwater wonders evoke a sense of awe, investing us emotionally in the fragility of our own existence. After all, sea levels have risen about 8 inches since 1900 due to climate change, per NASA data, potentially echoing ancient floods that could have driven societies below. Philosophically, this fragility highlights how surface civilizations are but fragile rafts on a stormy sea, while underwater persistence speaks to enduring human spirit. As we flow into the next layer of this exploration, let's consider the technological feats that might sustain such a hidden world, drawing from real innovations in subsea engineering. Diving straight into the heart of this ocean mystery, envision how this enduring first civilization might have mastered the art of underwater survival through ingenious adaptations rooted in planetary science and technology. Slow your thoughts with me as we explore the vivid metaphor of the ocean as Earth's unseen heartbeat, pulsing with currents that carry nutrients across continents, much like ancient trade routes once linked early human societies. Marine science facts reveal that thermohaline circulation, the global conveyor belt of ocean waters, distributes heat and oxygen, sustaining life in ways that could have supported submerged communities for millennia. What if these pioneers, facing cataclysmic floods, perhaps akin to the Black Sea deluge hypothesis around 5600 BCE, which flooded vast areas and inspired flood myths worldwide, retreated to subaqueous havens? Archaeological evidence from sites like the submerged city of Pavlopetri in Greece, dating to 2800 BCE and discovered in 1967, shows how entire settlements can vanish beneath waves yet preserve pottery and structures intact due to low oxygen environments that halt decay. This builds emotional investment by connecting us to our ancestors' ingenuity. Reflect. How might it feel to know that the cradle of humanity isn't lost but thriving in silence? Encouraging your own research, look into the work of Graham Hancock, whose Underworld theorizes flooded prehistoric sites, or scientific papers on sonar mapping from expeditions like those by the Schmidt Ocean Institute. Seamlessly transitioning to broader implications, such a civilization could have developed bioluminescent communication systems, inspired by deep-sea creatures like the anglerfish, whose glowing lures are powered by symbiotic bacteria, a natural technology that has influenced modern LED innovations for underwater drones. In fact, remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, like those used in the Deepwater Horizon oil spill cleanup demonstrate how humans already engineer subsea tools, with cameras and manipulators exploring depths up to 20,000 feet. These underwater wonders stir a therapeutic sense of connection, reminding us of human fragility amid the ocean's might. Consider that tsunamis, generated by undersea earthquakes, can travel at 500 miles per hour, reshaping coastlines as they might have ancient worlds. Philosophically, this invites reflection on habitability. If life on land is precarious, vulnerable to droughts and storms, underwater realms offer stability, with constant temperatures and abundant resources like methane hydrates, frozen gas deposits on the seafloor that hold more energy than all known fossil fuels, per USGS estimates. What personal insights does this evoke for you? Perhaps it underscores the need to protect our oceans, where over 3 billion people rely on marine ecosystems for food, according to the UN. Continuing our contemplative dive into these ocean mysteries, let's slowly unravel the potential daily life of this submerged first civilization, weaving in marine science facts that paint a picture of harmonious existence with the deep. Imagine their world as a submerged symphony, where currents conduct melodies of survival, much like how coral reefs, vibrant underwater cities built by polyps over centuries, host biodiversity hotspots teeming with life. Evolutionary biology offers clues. Species like the coelacanth, a living fossil fish thought extinct for 66 million years until rediscovered in 1938 off South Africa, exemplify how ancient lineages can persist in hidden depths, adapting to low-light environments with enhanced senses. What if human descendants followed suit, evolving traits like improved lung capacity or webbed extremities, inspired by real genetic adaptations in Bajau sea nomads of Southeast Asia, who can hold their breath for over 13 minutes due to larger spleens, per a 2018 study in Cell Journal. This fosters emotional investment by linking us to a shared evolutionary tapestry. Pause and reflect. Does this idea make you feel more connected to the sea's ancient pulse? For personal research, explore documentaries like Blue Planet 2 or articles from National Geographic on deep-sea adaptations, seamlessly broadening to implications. Such a society might harness tidal energy, converting the moon's gravitational pull into power via underwater turbines. Technology already prototyped in Scotland's Maygen project, generating electricity from currents stronger than any river. These underwater wonders evoke therapeutic awe, underscoring human fragility. Consider that ocean acidification, driven by CO2 absorption, threatens 25% of marine life by 2100, per IPCC reports, potentially disrupting hidden ecosystems. Philosophically, it questions habitability. If surface pollution chokes our air, the deep offers purity, with pristine waters filtering out toxins. Engaging further, envision their architecture mimicking nautilus shells, spirals that distribute pressure evenly. A design principle used in modern submersibles like the Trieste, which reached the Challenger deep in 1960. Marine archaeology supports this with finds like the 9,500-year-old Atlit Yam site off Israel, submerged yet revealing wells and hearths, hinting at advanced prehistoric planning. What questions bubble up for you about our own societal resilience? As we flow onward, educationally, bioluminescent algae could light their paths, a natural phenomenon where dinoflagellates glow when disturbed, inspiring bioluminescent paints in tech. Building investment, facts like the ocean's role in producing 50 to 80% of Earth's oxygen via phytoplankton highlight its life-sustaining power, making the idea of underwater persistence not just plausible but vital. Transitioning to cultural aspects, perhaps their lore includes tales of the surface world, preserved in oral traditions echoing through water, much as humpback whales pass songs across generations. This immersive narrative encourages slow engagement, letting ideas percolate like deep-sea vents releasing minerals that form black smokers, chimneys of iron sulfide supporting unique microbes discovered in the Galapagos Rift. Broader implications touch on conservation, with plastic pollution equaling the weight of 2 Eiffel Towers entering oceans yearly, per Ocean Conservancy. Protecting these mysteries becomes imperative. Emotionally, it invests us in wonder, reminding us that fragility on land contrasts with the deep's enduring calm. As our exploration deepens at this unhurried pace, let's reflect on the technological marvels that could define this underwater civilization, drawn from real advancements in ocean engineering and biology. Picture their innovations as pearls formed from the grit of adversity, layers of knowledge accreted over eons in the ocean's nurturing embrace. Marine science facts illuminate possibilities. Subsea cables, which carry 99% of international data traffic, demonstrate how humans already weave networks beneath waves, a technology that could have evolved from ancient signal systems using bioluminescent markers. What if this first society, evading extinction events like the Younger Dryas cooling period around 10,800 BCE, which caused rapid sea level rises, developed aquaculture far beyond our own, farming kelp forests that grow up to 2 feet per day, providing sustainable food as seen in modern initiatives like those off California's coast? This builds emotional depth by evoking ancestral wisdom. Ask yourself, how might rediscovering such knowledge transform our world? Encourage your research with resources from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution or books like The Deep by Alex Rogers. Transitioning to wider implications, their medicine might draw from deep-sea compounds, like those from sea sponges yielding anti-cancer drugs such as eribulin, approved by the FDA in 2010, a fact highlighting the ocean's pharmaceutical treasury. These underwater wonders provide therapeutic inspiration, contrasting our surface fragility where diseases spread rapidly, while isolated depths foster immunity. Philosophically, it probes habitability. If land is scarred by deforestation, losing 420 million hectares since 1990 per FAO, subaqueous realms offer refuge. Engaging vividly, imagine pressure-resistant suits inspired by the exoskeletons of deep-sea crabs, which withstand crushing forces, mirroring materials in NASA's deep space suits adapted for ocean use. Archaeological parallels include the Doggerland region, a submerged land bridge between Britain and Europe inhabited until 6500 BCE, with artifacts like harpoons suggesting advanced hunting. What reflections does this stir on human adaptability? Educationally, geothermal energy from seafloor spreading zones, where tectonic plates diverge at 2 to 8 centimeters per year, could power their habitats, as prototyped in Iceland's geothermal plants. Fostering investment, facts like the discovery of 1.5 million new marine species since 2000, per the Census of Marine Life, under the deep's untapped potential. Seamlessly, their education system might involve holographic projections using water's refractive properties, akin to how lasers create 3D images in modern aquariums. Lingering in this immersive narrative, we now contemplate the philosophical and ethical dimensions of an underwater first civilization, enriched by marine science facts that bridge past and present. Envision their ethos as a coral atoll, resilient rings of community encircling lagoons of shared knowledge, enduring storms that batter the surface. Evolutionary biology provides metaphors. Octopuses, with their distributed intelligence across 8 arms, solve puzzles and camouflage seamlessly, traits that could symbolize a society's decentralized wisdom, as studied in labs like those at the University of Cambridge. What if this hidden group, surviving through adaptability post-cataclysm, holds keys to sustainable living like recycling water in closed loops, a technique used in submarines and space stations? Delving even deeper into this ongoing exploration of ocean mysteries, let's slowly unfold the potential interactions between the submerged first civilization and our surface world, guided by marine science facts that hint at subtle connections we might overlook. Visualize these hidden inhabitants as silent guardians of the deep, their presence woven into the fabric of myths like Atlantis, described by Plato as a lost island empire swallowed by the sea. A tale possibly inspired by real events such as the Minoan eruption around 1600 BCE, which devastated Crete and sent tsunamis rippling across the Mediterranean. Evolutionary biology suggests that if humans adapted to aquatic life, it could parallel the development of marine mammals like whales, which evolved from land-dwelling ancestors over 50 million years, regaining flippers and echolocation while retaining vestigial hip bones as echoes of their terrestrial past. What if occasional artifacts washing ashore, such as enigmatic stone tools found on beaches, sometimes dated to periods before known human presence, are clues from this underwater society? This idea builds emotional investment by stirring a sense of mystery in our everyday encounters with the sea. Reflect. Have you ever found a peculiar shell or relic on the shore and wondered about its origins? For your personal research, consider exploring the Ocean Exploration Trust's expeditions or books like Fingerprints of the Gods by Graham Hancock, which discuss anomalous archaeological finds. Seamlessly transitioning to broader implications, such interactions might involve subtle environmental stewardship, like influencing ocean currents to mitigate climate impacts, drawing from real phenomena where upwelling brings nutrient-rich waters to the surface, supporting fisheries that feed billions, as studied by NOAA. These underwater wonders evoke a therapeutic sense of interconnectedness, reminding us of human fragility. After all, coral bleaching events, accelerated by warming waters, have destroyed 14% of reefs since 2009, per global assessments, potentially affecting hidden habitats too. Philosophically, this raises questions about coexistence. Could we learn from a civilization that harmonizes with the deep rather than dominating it? Engaging vividly, imagine their scouts using submersibles camouflaged as marine life, inspired by the mimic octopus that impersonates other creatures for survival, a behavior documented in Indonesian waters. Marine archaeology adds weight with discoveries like the Baltic Sea anomaly, a circular formation found in 2011 that some speculate is artificial, though sonar artifacts are debated. What personal curiosity does this ignite about unexplained ocean phenomena? Educationally, bioluminescent signaling could serve as their covert communication, akin to how fireflies use light patterns on land, but amplified in water where sound travels faster. Facts that have led to developments in underwater acoustics for naval purposes. Fostering deeper investment, consider that the ocean absorbs 90% of excess heat from global warming, per IPCC data, acting as a buffer that a submerged society might actively manage. As we flow into cultural exchanges, perhaps myths of mermaids stem from rare sightings, blending with evolutionary tales of aquatic apes hypothesized by Elaine Morgan, suggesting early humans were semi-aquatic. This narrative encourages unhurried reflection, letting ideas drift like plankton in the current. Broader implications extend to global ecology, with overfishing depleting 33% of stocks, per FAO reports. A hidden civilization's sustainable practices could model solutions. Emotionally, these facts ground us in humility, highlighting how our surface actions ripple downward, affecting unseen worlds. Pressing onward in this contemplative narrative of underwater wonders, let's envision the scientific advancements this first civilization might have achieved, rooted in oceanography and inspired by the deep's unforgiving environment. Picture their laboratories as abyssal forges, where extreme conditions birth innovations, much like how diamonds form under immense pressure in Earth's mantle, emerging via volcanic pipes. Marine science facts reveal that deep-sea bacteria produce enzymes stable at high temperatures, used in PCR tests for DNA amplification, a breakthrough from vent microbes that has revolutionized medicine since the 1980s. What if this society, having endured millennia in isolation, developed genetic engineering far beyond ours, perhaps editing traits for pressure resistance, drawing from real CRISPR technology inspired by bacterial defenses? This fosters emotional resonance by connecting to our innate drive for progress. Pause and ponder. How might such knowledge alleviate human suffering if shared? Encourage your own dives into research via the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute or documentaries like Chasing Coral. Transitioning to wider implications, their tech could include quantum computing cooled by frigid deep waters, leveraging superconductivity at low temperatures. Concepts prototyped in labs today for energy-efficient data processing. These ocean mysteries provide therapeutic insight, contrasting our fragile surface tech vulnerable to solar flares, which disrupt grids as in the 1989 Quebec blackout. Philosophically, it challenges notions of progress. Is true advancement measured by harmony with nature rather than conquest? Vividly engaging, imagine energy harvesters tapping into undersea volcanoes, similar to how Iceland harnesses geothermal power, but scaled to sustain entire cities with zero emissions. Archaeological echoes include the submerged ruins of Heracleion in Egypt, rediscovered in 2000 with intact statues and temples from 800 BCE, preserved by silt. What reflections arise on lost innovations? Educationally, their material science might mimic abalone shells, layered for strength, inspiring bulletproof vests in modern biomimicry. Building investment, facts like the ocean's 1,300 known hydrothermal vents, each a biodiversity hub, undersea potential for discovery. Seamlessly, social structures could revolve around collective research like ant colonies dividing labor, applied to human scales in evolutionary terms. This immersive story invites slow absorption, like osmosis drawing nutrients across cell membranes. Broader implications touch on space exploration analogies. NASA's Europa Clipper mission seeks life in Jupiter's icy ocean, mirroring Earth's deep-sea searches. Emotionally, it invests us in wonder, reminding us that fragility above contrasts with ingenuity below, where life persists against odds. As we sustain this unhurried plunge into marine science facts, let's explore the artistic and spiritual expressions of this underwater civilization, blending evolutionary biology with the deep's ethereal beauty. Envision their art as luminous tapestries, woven from bioluminescent threads, illuminating caverns like underwater auroras, metaphors for the soul's hidden light amid darkness. Oceanography highlights phenomena like milky seas, vast glowing patches caused by bacteria, observed by satellites, and inspiring myths of enchanted waters. What if their music resonates through water, using harmonics like those of dolphins, whose clicks form complex languages studied by researchers at the Dolphin Research Center? This builds emotional depth by evoking universal creativity. Reflect. How does the idea of submerged symphonies stir your imagination? For personal inquiry, turn to the Smithsonian's ocean art exhibits or books like Soul of an Octopus by Cy Montgomery. Broadening to implications, such expressions might foster mental resilience, countering isolation with communal rituals, paralleling how surface cultures use art for therapy amid fragility. These underwater wonders offer contemplative solace, especially as mental health crises rise with environmental stress, per WHO data. Philosophically, it questions spirituality. Could divinity be found in the deep's quiet vastness rather than the stars? Engaging descriptively, picture sculptures carved from vent minerals, enduring eons like the moai of Easter Island but submerged. Marine archaeology provides parallels with the Cosquer Cave in France, Underwater paintings from 27,000 years ago accessed only by divers. What spiritual insights bubble forth? Educationally, their philosophy might draw from symbiotic relationships, like clownfish and anemones, teaching mutualism in evolutionary terms. Investing further, facts on deep-sea meditation analogs, like slow-moving currents promoting calm, highlight therapeutic potential. Transitioning, cultural preservation could involve holographic memories, using light refraction in water, a tech emerging in optics labs. This narrative encourages lingering thought, like echoes in a canyon. Broader implications include inspiring surface art, with ocean motifs in movements like environmental surrealism. Emotionally, it underscores fragility, as pollution silences marine sounds, disrupting ecosystems. Continuing our serene voyage through ocean mysteries, we now consider the ecological stewardship this first civilization might embody, informed by marine science facts on sustainability. Imagine their role as oceanic custodians, tending vast kelp forests like underwater gardens, where fronds sway in currents as metaphors for life's interconnected web. Evolutionary biology shows how keystone species, like sea otters controlling urchin populations to protect kelp, maintain balance. Lessons a submerged society could apply on grand scales. What if they mitigate pollution, using biofilters inspired by mussels that absorb toxins, a method tested in modern cleanup projects? This evokes emotional commitment to conservation. Ask: does this vision motivate your own eco-actions? Research further with Ocean Cleanup Initiatives or Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. Transitioning broadly, their practices could influence global carbon cycles, enhancing seagrass meadows that sequester CO2 at rates 35 times faster than rainforests, per studies. These underwater wonders provide therapeutic hope amid fragility, with oceans facing 150 million tons of plastic by 2050 projections. Philosophically, it probes responsibility. Who stewards the unseen? Vividly, envision bioremediation using engineered microbes, building on vent bacteria discoveries. Archaeological ties include ancient fishing weirs submerged off Canada, dating 14,000 years. What stewardship lessons emerge? Educationally, tidal zoning might mirror zoning in coral atolls. Fostering investment, facts on biodiversity loss urge action. Seamlessly, social norms could prioritize harmony, like pack behaviors in orcas. This story invites reflective pauses. Broader implications extend to climate policy, inspiring blue economies. Emotionally, it highlights shared planetary fate. Nearing the horizons of this extended immersion, let's reflect on potential rediscovery scenarios for this underwater civilization, weaving in marine science facts that bridge fantasy and possibility. Picture a moment of contact as a gentle surfacing, like a whale breaching to breathe, symbolizing reunion after eons. Oceanography's advancements, like autonomous underwater vehicles mapping 1 million square kilometers yearly, could uncover clues. What if acoustic anomalies, detected by hydrophone arrays, reveal their presence, similar to unexplained sounds like the bloop recorded in 1997? This builds anticipatory emotion. Ponder: how would such a revelation reshape humanity? Explore via the International Seabed Authority, or Abyss, by James Cameron. Broadening, rediscovery might spark technological leaps, sharing adaptations for deep-sea mining ethics. These mysteries offer therapeutic unity, countering division in fragile times. Philosophically, it questions isolation. Is connection inevitable? Engaging, imagine diplomatic exchanges via neutral zones. Archaeology offers the Yonaguni parallel. What hopes arise? Educationally, shared knowledge on extremophiles could advance biotech. Investing, facts on unexplored depths fuel curiosity. Transitioning, cultural integration might blend traditions. This narrative encourages ongoing wonder. Broader implications include peace-building models. Emotionally, it invests in collective future. Concluding this expanded journey through underwater wonders, we've traversed layers of possibility for a persistent first civilization, grounded in marine science facts that illuminate Earth's hidden depths and our fragility. This thoughtful extension reinforces habitability's philosophical depths, urging continued curiosity. As we resurface, nurture this oceanic spark. Research more, share thoughts. If inspired, subscribe to Earth with Nature, and comment, what new, what if does this evoke? Thank you. Keep exploring the waves of wonder.